Packers believe they've found their next general manager. Multiple reports say Gutenkunst will replace Ted Thompson as the man in charge in Tattletown.
Want the person, that's going to be able to come in and put a plan together to get us back to, competing and winning Super Bowls.
Plus, we fill you in on other coaching changes that are reportedly taking place, including the return of an offensive coordinator that hopes to bring the O back to its former dominant state. A reaction from the locker room and more. The Fox 11 Sports Edge starts right now. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Fox 11 Sports Edge. I'm Josh Moser. Thank you so much for staying up late with us. But the big news of the day reports out that Gutenkunst will be named as the next general manager of the Green Bay Packers. No surprise they stay in-house, deciding to pass on other internal candidates, Elliott Wolf and Russ Ball, and former Bills GM Doug Whaley. Now, the reports indicating that he will receive a 5-year contract. Gutenkunst, now 44 years old, has been the director of player personnel since 2016, was originally brought on staff as a full-time employee by Ron Wolf back in 1998 before on to become the director of college scouting. So here's a snapshot of his career with the Packers. Again, Gutenkunst will be entering his 20th year in a full-time capacity with the franchise. He's known for his ability to find talent. Again, served as the team's main college scout for a long time. First joined the organization in '97 as a scouting intern. Here's Mike McCarthy on what he's looking for in the relationship between the new general manager and himself as the head coach.
It's about working together. It's not a one-man show. I believe that. I don't believe in the total control. I think the job's too big for one person. I think everybody in our business has an ego. If you don't, you get squashed. But the maintenance of your ego is critical. So this is not a power-hungry moment. This is about doing what's in the best interest of the Green Bay Packers. Mark Murphy and I have talked numerous times about the Packer way, and I believe in it. And the decisions that are made will be in the best interest of the Packers, and I'm at peace with that.
Now, with Brian in, it raises questions of what's next for the other two internal candidates, Elliott Wolf and Russ Ball. Wolf, again, son of Hall of Fame Packers general manager Ron Wolf, currently the director of football operations. That's one below the general manager. And Russ Ball, the vice president of football administration, player finance. Reports are out that the Packers would like to retain their services in some capacity, but as of right now, their futures remain unknown. So very interesting to see what happens with those two. The GM job with the Texans still remains open. However, we will know who will replace Edgar Bennett as the team's offensive coordinator. Multiple reports indicating that Joe Philbin will return to the Packers. Philbin was with the team for 9 seasons, spent 5 of those years as the Packers offensive coordinator, helped Green Bay win Super Bowl 45, was part of the franchise's most productive offensive season statistically back in 2011. Then he left the Packers in 2012 to become the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, but was fired in 2015. He spent the last 2 seasons with the Colts organization. Here's Mike McCarthy on Philbin from all the way back in 2015 in October when he was let go as the man in charge of the Dolphins.
I think, as we all know in here, Joe Philbin is a man of the highest character and integrity, and I think he's an outstanding football coach. Joe Philbin will, if he desires, will coach again.
Taking you back into the archives, more on Philbin now. Again, brings 15 years of NFL experience. We mentioned the 5 as OC already here in Green Bay. That also aligns with Aaron Rodgers' rookie year, so keep that in mind. Then spent 4 years as the head coach with Miami after Green Bay. Spent the last 2 in Indianapolis as an assistant head coach and offensive line coach. So let's go by the numbers on when Philbin was the man in charge of the offense here in Tattletown, including during their Super Bowl 45 run. Packers in the top 10 in total offense. 2011, Aaron Rodgers, single-season best, 122.5 passer rating, en route to his first MVP award. Now, reports also indicating that Mike McCarthy has found his new wide receiver coach to replace Luke Getsy. Getsy again leaving to become the offensive coordinator of Mississippi State. New man in charge, Jim Hostler, serving most recently with the Colts, helping T.Y. Hilton earn a Pro Bowl bid while developing tight ends Jack Doyle and Dwayne Allen, as well as budding wide receiver Dante Moncrief. But here's the big connection. You see at the bottom of your screen, Hostler working with Mike McCarthy in both New Orleans with the Saints and in San Francisco with the 49ers. This is now the 3rd time they will reunite. Now, the Packers still have to fill their open spots for defensive coordinator, D-line coach, and more, so expect more changes to come. But when we come back, we pause and take time to reflect on what was the era of Ted Thompson and the draft and develop mentality that turned the Packers into one of the most successful franchises over the past decade and a half.
I got a lot of respect for Ted. He's, one of the main reasons why I'm here. And he believed in me and kept me here throughout some bumps in the road.
Obviously, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. taking a shot on me coming out as a free agent, so it kind of meant a little more. But I'm glad he's still sticking around here.
Brian Gutenkunst, again, reportedly in. Ted Thompson, again, moving to the senior advisor role, but a great tenure as the man in charge of the Packers. What will be most remembered for is drafting Aaron Rodgers, winning Super Bowl 45, and bringing Mike McCarthy to Green Bay to be his head coach. Now at the end, we look back at his 13-year career as the Packers general manager, one that should land him in the franchise's Hall of Fame.
I am very pleased and honored today to be able to welcome back to Green Bay and to the Packers organization our new Executive Vice President, General Manager, and Director of Football Operations, Ted Thompson.
It was January 14, 2005. Ushered in by former Packers president and CEO Bob Harlan, Thompson beginning an unprecedented era of stability in the franchise. 9 playoff runs in the next 13 seasons.
It's almost a dream come true type job. You think about when you're a young kid, some of the things you'd like to do when you grow up, and you think maybe the manager of the New York Yankees or maybe the general manager of the Green Bay Packers.
I think when you step back and you look at it, what he has accomplished as our general manager speaks for itself. Pretty remarkable, really. He's a very humble man, tremendously loyal to the Packers.
His first move, selecting Aaron Rodgers 24th overall in the 2005 NFL Draft.
Not a lot of things went the way we thought they'd go, but I'm just so excited about being able to go to a team that wants me and a team that I can learn from the greatest quarterback of our day right now, and I'm just excited to get out of that green room, and I couldn't be happier with the team that picked me and what next year and the years to come is going to look like being a Packer.
Then it was the delicate situation of moving on from future Hall of Fame quarterback Brett Favre, the hero of the Packers and the man along with Reggie White, who reinvigorated the franchise. While many fans wanted to see the gunslinger end his career in Green Bay, it was Thompson's decision to cut ties, a move that initially hurt the ego of the fan base, but was the right move for the organization. Fast forward 3 years, and it's Thompson's first pick, Rodgers leading the team to its 4th Super Bowl title and its first this century, beating the Pittsburgh Steelers 31-25. It was then more than 5 years of consecutive playoff appearances for the Pack, with one of the best quarterbacks of all time at the center of the roster, but no return to the Super Bowl. Fast forward again to this season, and it was a broken collarbone that exposed the holes on this team. The Packers missed the playoffs for the first time in 9 years, and less than 48 hours later, Ted Thompson's tenure as general manager is over. He did it his own way, the Ted Thompson way, accomplishing in 13 seasons more than most ever will. Here are a few more bullet points on milestones in Thompson's run as the Packers GM, named NFL Executive of the Year twice, 2007, 2011. Of course, brought the first Super Bowl of the century back to Green Bay. The Packers beat the Steelers in Super Bowl 45. We talked about that consistency and stability. 9 trips to the playoffs in 13 seasons. A run of 8 consecutive years, 2009 to 2016. Overall record 125, 82-1. That's a winning percentage higher than 60% of the time. So the 2018 Packers front office and coaching staff beginning to take shape. Again, the most turnover we've seen in a single offseason in more than a decade, and we're only a week in. Next on The Edge, we go more in depth on the season. Hear from Mike McCarthy on what the Packers' worst year was like in almost a decade. Welcome back into the Fox 11 Sports Edge, everyone. I'm Josh Moser. Evolve or perish. That's the mindset of the Packers organization heading into 2018. It was the first playoff miss in 9 years, and now the front office and coaching staff is getting an overhaul. NFL is a results business. Limited results for the Packers this year. Our Dylan Scott now taking us back on the season that became the end of the Packers' 8-year playoff run, and now a call for major change.
It was one of the most impressive streaks in professional sports. After 8 seasons, the Packers' run to the postseason coming to a disappointing end.
Continuing success is the hardest thing in this business. It's the hardest thing in life. We didn't continue our streak of playoff appearances, so we need to reboot, cleanse, ever how you want to word it. But we did not play to the standard of the Green Bay Packers.
Most circle Week 6 of Minnesota as the moment when the season truly unraveled. But in truth, the Vikings game exposed the flaws of the full roster.
It's not, if Aaron Rodgers gets hurt, and the point I'm making is it's to win the world championship. You don't get to say, but if Aaron doesn't get hurt. That's a loser's mentality.
Stats tell part of the story, but not all of it. Despite a 3-6 record with Brett Hundley under center, the head of the offense, appreciative of his spot duty in 2017.
When he got his opportunity, he really maxed it out. Not making excuses, but I don't know if I've ever coached an offensive game where we had 13 drops in 2 games. So, I mean, you have to look at the whole picture.
Defensively, it was another bottom-of-the-league campaign for this unit, one which ultimately cost Dom Capers his job and left others questioning the leadership in the locker room.
The defense, we need to, we need to be better. I think our guys were frustrated. They felt like they were a little bit handicapped. They felt like they started the season really strong on defense. That was the defense that they pictured themselves being. There's definitely some guys, including Hall, that were frustrated.
It's fair to say this was Mike McCarthy's most trying season since 2006, his first as the head coach of the Green Bay Packers. That next year, he guided the team to the NFC Championship game. In 2018, he says he's all in on taking it one step further.
Adversity is a great climate to improve from, and I'm fully confident that we will.
At Lambeau Field, Dylan Scott, Fox 11 Sports.
Thank you, Dylan. Now we go by the numbers. Packers' first losing season again since 2008. Also the first time they missed the playoffs this decade. 7-9 overall record. Finishing third in the division, scored only 20 points per game compared to the 24 points that they gave up. Obviously not a winning formula. Part of the reason why 4 defensive coaches will not return to their current role. Packers were 31st in red zone defense. Packers also bottom 4 in the league on third down defense. This group seemingly could never get off the field. But still on the field, 4 teams looking for 2 spots Sunday in next week's divisional round of the playoffs. Again, buys in the AFC going to New England and Pittsburgh, NFC, Philly, and Minnesota. We'll start in the National Football Conference. Battle of 2 of the league's best. Cam Newton and Drew Brees going head-to-head at the Superdome. Both bested the Packers this season. Saints come out throwing Brees down the seam to Ted Ginn Jr. 80 yards later, it's 7-0 New Orleans. They lead 21-9 at the break. A record-setting day for Brees, over 300 yards. Passing again. Panthers, they trailed the entire way. They cut it to 5, though, with under 5 to play. Newton finding speedster Christian McCaffrey. He goes 56 yards to the house. It's 31-26. First-round pick with a great rookie campaign. Fast forward now. Final ticks. Carolina needed a touchdown to win it, but Von Bell not going to give Cam the chance. The game-clinching sack. New Orleans moving on. 31-26. AFC, Jacksonville hosting Buffalo. First playoff game for the Bills this century. 1999, the last time they were in. Pick it up tied at 3 at the half, third quarter. 4th and goal, Jacksonville gets in. Blake Bortles to Ben Koyak. Didn't have a touchdown catch the entire season. Jags go up a touch. 2 minutes to play. Bills need 7 for the tie. Tyrod Taylor trying to buy time with his feet. Nobody open. Dante Fowler Jr. Ouch. Taylor slamming his head on the back of the turf. He would leave the game. So insert Nathan Peterman. He tries the quick hitter. Jalen Ramsey comes up with the incredible interception as we take a second look. And how about Jacksonville? First playoff victory since 2007. They advance with a 10-3 win. So here's a look now at the divisional playoff picture. Starting the AFC. Just saw the Jags win. They get the Steelers at Heinz Field. That's your 2-3 matchup. The winner will move on to play the victor between the Titans and the Patriots. NFC, Falcons taking care of the Rams to advance. They get the top-seeded Eagles. Other side, Saints and Vikings matching up at U.S. Bank in Minnesota. That one will be right here on Fox 11. Vikings 7-1 inside their home building this year. So some great matchups ahead on the NFL playoffs. Again, Vikings Saints right here on Fox 11 Sunday afternoon. But ahead on the edge, we head to the hardwood. An impressive defensive performance for the Green Bay Phoenix and the offense barrage by the senior point guard, Allie LeClaire. We head to the hardwood after this. Welcome back, everybody. Tonight we wrap up the Fox 11 Sports Edge. The Green Bay Phoenix women's basketball team dropped from 19th in the AT poll to 24th after that loss to Northern Kentucky. Kevin Borseth's squad looking to put that loss behind them and get back to conference dominance. Saturday was the Milwaukee Panthers. Thanks to a big night from senior Allie LeClaire, pacing the Phoenix with a season-high 28 points. The defense also key in the victory, holding Milwaukee to just 29 points. How about the lowest in program history? The play of LeClaire and the stingy defense had head coach Kevin Borseth proud of his team's resolve after disappointing time last time out.
That effort, any game, there's no guarantee when you go from one game to the next, win or lose, whether or not something's going to go your way. But I just thought there was a whole lot of effort. We had a lot of jump in our step, especially defensively. We had 15 steals, and that's a lot. I thought we had 26 points off turnover, so that's a ton too. So that in itself helped fuel us.
Everyone always has a hot hand some game, and that's what's cool about our team is any person on the floor can score. So I think that just being aggressive and trying to find my teammates, and they found me. So overall, it's a good win, and I think that we played pretty well.
That's it for The Edge. I'm Josh Moser. Have a wonderful night. Fox11online.com. Good Day Wisconsin starts at 4:30.